Which is why I'm doing this, because if this is supposed to be about top politics, I figured I could look like a talking head, giving ideas and stuff off to you. Is it spooky?
Check the other one.
In fact, you can't
slide back.
Absolutely nothing.
There was something.
You can hear this one? Awesome. That means we're good. All right, all equipment is working, I guess. Now we just have to wait for Sean. And thank you very much for this, for whatever I'm doing, whatever nonsense this is. But I seriously, I think I would watch news shows and see women sitting in, they're always sitting, and they're always wearing short skirts and 5-inch heels, which I never understood. What is the point of that? I mean, I understand having to wear high heels to try to make yourselves look good for men, but you're seated, so you're not even using the heels, so why is it necessary to have that on? Are you gonna, all right, you've got the everything is said. And also thank you to John for assisting us with this.
Thank you.
So, and enjoy my voting for change. Oh, you want to turn that thing around so I can see it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that. We have to remember what we're doing here. Thank you, John. And the only true happiness this way lies. I'm here to usher in a whole new millennium. I'm the new savior, the savior of science, the savior of survival, survival of the fittest, survival of the best. And I'm here to tell you that we're starting anew. So, place your seat trays in your upright position, fasten your seatbelt, because this is a bumpy ride, and I'm here to tell you why. I'm here to usher in a whole new millennium, the millennium of reason and logic and strength, and you need a leader, so I'm stepping up to the place. You keep asking for a big brother, so I'm here to set you straight. You want someone to wipe your noses for you? Well, pick up the tissue and do it yourself, because when you give up your rights, you take away mine, and we're not having any of that. I'm here to usher in a whole new millennium. They say that Eve ate from the tree of knowledge, but you know, she shouldn't have stopped just there, because you know it's now time to take it all back, because you know I'm going to tell you how it's going to be done. Stop asking for things and start working for things. You're looking for peace in all the wrong places. You're asking your leaders to save you from yourselves, but your leaders are losers, and they're worse off than you. It's time to make choices, and it's time to lay claim to everything that we've been blindly giving away, because I'm here to usher in a whole new millennium. Take charge of yourself. I'll take charge of me. I'm my leader, not yours. So wipe your own noses. Take it in your own hands, people. Mold your own tools. This is the new millennium, and this is your chance, because no one should be showing us how to fail. People mastered that feat a millennia ago. I'm here to usher in a whole new millennium, and I'm waiting for you to usher in yours. Because the only true happiness this way lies. I was going to do one more, and I thank you again, John, for the music behind this one. This is called Orders. Oh, he forgot his clapperboard. My uncle was a pilot, and I know he served in the military, but I didn't know him well enough. So I only search for the stories of a pilot with a plan of plutonium dropping a fat boy over Nagasaki. Because once you're told what to do, thinking can exit the equation, since everyone falls back on, I was only following orders. Because who needs to question morals when you've got blind obedience? My Netherlands proclaimed neutrality at the start of World War II. Germany invaded anyway, and only one day later, Dutch forces surrendered. Germany then deported the Jews, but not without the help of the Dutch police. You know, the Dutch had one of the highest levels of collaboration with Nazi Germany, because if you can't beat them, join them. and just follow orders. But still, I think of my ancestors, Petronella, Johanna, Houston natives, helping the resistance. They were killed for saving lives. That's what you get for having beliefs, for not following orders. And yeah, when I was raised, I did what I was told. I didn't get in trouble. I was a good little girl. And what did it get me? A life of doing what I was told to do, until I was left with one war, one voice. But that one voice was only my own, and I no longer had any orders, just a deafening silence in my effort to pick up the pieces so I could have my own justice on my own terms, in my own time. And still, I fight. You try to do things on your own, but the political pundits say one thing and the talking heads say another. Well, you've gained the brains, and after all this time, you should know by now that you're making the choices now, that you don't have to follow orders anymore. Although I think I have a few PSAs to do, so I'm hoping that John will help me out with it. You have to announce it, because I figured I'm in a suit and everything here, that I should be prepared for doing my political service announcements or something.
State of the Nation 2016 edit.
My phone rang earlier today, and I picked it up and I said, hello? And the man at the other end said, is this Janet Kuypers? And I said, yes it is, may I ask who's calling? And he said, yeah, hi, this is George Washington, and I'm sitting here with Jefferson and a couple other of us guys, and we just wanted to tell you a few things. And I said, oh, why me? And he said, excuse me, I believe I said I was the one that wanted to do the talking. God, that is a problem with Americans nowadays. They're all just so rude. And I said, well, you know, you really didn't have to be so terse like that, Mr. President. And he said, oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I've been dead for so long. I lose all control of my manners. Well, anyway, we just wanted to tell you a few things. Now, I know we didn't have much of an idea of what we were doing when we were starting this country here. Like, we didn't have much experience in creating bodies of power. So I can understand how our Constitution could be misconstrued. And then he put in a dramatic pause. And he said, but when we said that people had a right to bear arms, we meant so that you could protect yourselves from a government gone wrong, and not so that you could shoot a 16-year-old girl at 6 p.m. at an ATM machine for $20 cash. And when we included the notion, the idea of the separation of church and state, we also thought that the idea of freedom of religion could be freedom from religion. And when we said freedom of speech, we had no idea that you'd be burning the flag or painting pictures of Christ doused in urine or photographing people with whips up their respective anatomies. But I guess we've got to grin and bear it, because if we ban that, the next thing they'll ban is books, and we can't have that. And I said, but there are schools that have books banned, George. And he said, oh.
Everything was alive and dying. 2016 political edit.
I know I don't do much. I don't do enough, but I'll take what I can get. When I keep having these bad dreams of our country going down the tubes, and all I can dream about is the reality of my hands being tied behind my back, and there's nothing I can do. And after every night, I wake up in a sweat. Now that Britain is leaving the EU, So tell me, Prime Minister David Cameron. So tell me, Jeb exclamation point Bush. So tell me, Ted Canadian Cuban Cruz. So tell me, Entertainer-in-Chief Donald Trump. So tell me, crooked Hillary Clinton. So tell me, Barack Hussein Obama. If you went through my dream, if you saw the world as I do, would you wake up in a sweat too? You know my motives aren't selfless. I know these things are worthwhile in my life. I mean, I like to find a cure to all these man-made diseases before I die of them. I mean, I'm not just a vegetarian because I think it's wrong to kill an animal unless I have to. I also know that the excess protein pulls the calcium away from my bones and gives me osteoporosis. And I know that the excess fat gives me heart attacks. And I know that we could be feeding 17 times more people with the same resources used for meat production. You know, I know you're looking at me and calling me an extremist. But I'm sitting here, looking around me, looking at all of the destruction caused by family values, and thinking that the right, moral, nonviolent decisions are also those extreme ones. Everything is linked here. We destroy our animals, we destroy our plants, we destroy our earth, we're even destroying our air. We wreak havoc on the soil, on the atmosphere. We dump our wastes into our lakes, we pump aerosol cans and exhaust fumes. And you tell me I'm extreme. And I'm beginning to think that we just keep doing it because we don't know how to stop. And deep inside we feel the pain of all that we've killed. And we try to control it by popping a chemical-filled painkiller. We live through the guilt by taking caffeine and nicotine, morphine. We keep ourselves thin with saccharin. We keep ourselves sane with our alcohol poisoning. And we will do anything to ourselves to make us think that we have the power. In the wild, you have no power over anyone else. Now that we're civilized, we create our own wild. Maybe when we have all this power, the only choice we have is to destroy ourselves. And so we do. Last one, I need a palate cleanser.
A Great American, 2016 edit.
When listening to Sean Hannity, the talking head, the Republican pundit, I hear him say to all veterans, "You're a great American." And then other people would say that Sean is a great American. And it becomes like a contest where everyone who supports Sean Hannity is calling each other a great American. Yeah, Sean Hannity thanks veterans because they fought in a war to protect our country. But now, he'll call anyone a great American, but only if they agree with him. You can elevate anyone to that tall pedestal, idolize them, call them a great American by doing, and as long as they would actually just support their cacistocracy. Hey, we're Americans. We proclaimed ourselves to be the best. We don't idolize anyone except ourselves. So maybe it's time we all start thinking the Sean Hannity way and proclaim ourselves all to be great Americans again.
Yay!